Hello. So today we're going to upload our medical records to a large language models. So today we're going to go all the way to uploading to Anthropic. But before we do that, I want to take you through an intermediary step where we're going to extract all the images into text. So today, Anthropic can read PDF, can read text, but for images, I didn't find a way to make it to read images. So the first step we're going to do, we're going to go to Gemini and we're going to take our images and we're going to transform them into text. Then we're going to Anthropic, and inside Anthropic, we're going to create what is called as a project. And we're going to upload then all our text-based medical records into Anthropic projects. What this will do is it will transform, or no, it's not the right word, it's actually embed. So what does that mean? So is going to interpret or translate, if you want, or transform all the meaning of our document into mathematical vectors. So this is what is used in LLM in order to retrieve the information easier. They're actually transforming the meaning of document into mathematical vectors. If you want to know more about RAG or embeddings, I really strongly encourage you to look into it, but I'm not going to explain that over here. And once we will have created knowledge based only about your own medical records, we will then use the Anthropic model Sonnet 4.6 to interact with it and to ask him a couple of questions to try to explain your medical picture and what is actually relevant from all the analysis that you have performed. Okay, so let's go. But before we start, I need to take you through the medical disclaimer. So this video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. AI generated interpretation are supportive tools only. They do not replace a clinical judgment. And you're going to see, especially in this video, we're going to ask to provide some medical advice, but those are just supportive tools that you will have to go and validate with a qualified healthcare professional before any medical decision are made. And never disregard or delay professional medical advice based on content in this video. And in case of a medical emergency, contact your local emergency services immediately. So yeah, so we should go for it. So let's start at this step, okay? Our medical records. So let me bring now my medical records. So here they are. So those are medical records. You remember them, and you know what we've done just before this step. We actually went through all of them, and we removed any kind of personal identifiable data. Okay, so we must strip all the personal information, name, addresses, address of the lab, the name of the lab, name of the doctor, any date of birth, any kind of personal information or professional information should go. Only the medical insight must stay. So the lab's result. That's the only thing that should stay here, and we should remove everything else. So now we've got that. So we've got here, you see some document in Word, we have some PDF, and then we have some pictures, okay, PNG or JPEG or GIF or whatsoever. So this is really the step that we're going to concentrate on right now. So first step, so I will go on internet, and my first step is I'm going to go here into Google Gemini. So to go to and access Google Gemini, you just need to log in with your Google account, And then you go here and you click on the plus here and you start to looking for files, and you get to the section where you have all your medical data. You look at one which is an image. So for example, I will take this one. I will send it to the model. Of course, I've streamed out any kind of personal data before I do that. And here I could easily just ask, please provide me with an extract of the data, but I will give you some kind of pro tips. I think it's better if you bring a prompt like this one. Let's impersonate expert clinical biochemist and ask him to extract all biomarker values from the attached lab report into a structured table with column, biomarker, result, unit, reference range, and the status. Ask him to flag if it's a normal, low, high, or borderline. And then, that's a pro tip, try to explain what is actually, if you know it, of course, the condition of the patient records. It will probably give you some additional insight if you do it versus if you don't. So in here, you can select fast. That's enough. It works very well. And then you go. So you see it's taking actually the image, which is stripped of all personal data once again. And then is actually reading in and extracting the data. Okay, so it's doing actually two things. Is extracting all the information, the data. So it gives you the biomarker, it gives you the results, the unit, the reference range, and even a status. So he's even highlighting you the one which are outside of range, either low or either high. Okay, and even when it's normal, he tell you it's actually normal low or normal high. Okay, and if we go down, even give you, because you gave the context of the patient, some maybe interesting observations that you should go and maybe discuss with your doctor if he hasn't seen them himself. Okay, so for example here, I told that the patient is suffering from PANS-PANDAS, which is an immune condition, and he actually gave me some information to look at vitamin D, because vitamin D is actually something that in case of neuroinflammation or in case of immune activation, something that should be looked at. Okay, so we can do maybe another try. So if I look and I upload a picture which was taken maybe with a little bit less quality, like this one, for example. So this one, that's something I wanted to check with you, because I actually took a picture which wasn't super straight, and so I just would like to double check that it will read the data correctly. So I do it again. So you can see in this picture, if I zoom in, yeah, that work. You could see that I even highlighted something in dark green, which was not very smart. And also I took a picture on top of a plastic folder, which is supposed to protect this document, but it provides actually a very bad reading. And on top of that, my lines are not super straight. So this is where one time I actually noticed that he actually mixed two results. So that's something you need to do. You need to double check that he got it right. So if we look at what he found, so I think I've got here a line where I'm not sure he will read it correctly. I'm not sure if it's suberic or suberic. I'm not sure. Suberic, but it's 840. Let's have a look if he got it correctly. And Yeah, so you read the Suberix is 840 and flag is high. So he got it correct. That's amazing. They're actually super good, those OCR reading. And again, he provide me some expert analyses that are quite interesting. I will read them after, and I certainly copy them and save them. So what you need to do then when you actually get this information, you do a copy and it's now text, and then you do a Control C, Control V, and you paste it into a Word document that you then save into a folder like I did on my laptop. So I understand this step is a little bit inconvenient and fastidious, but do it for all your documents which are images, because you actually need to do it only once, and then after you've got it, and then you can interact with any models that you want later, if those models actually improve and become even more clever than what they are right now. Okay, so we've done the step of extraction of data. So we've done this step. So now let's go and build our own database of medical record. So for that, I will go to Anthropic, Claude Anthropic. So for the one who don't know what Claude Anthropic is this one. So it's Claude.ai. So you will have to create an account. It's free of charge. And then when you get here, the first thing you need to do is you go here and you go to something called project. So what is a project? Well, let's have a look. So a project is actually going to become indeed a RAG, or actually a database just for your document. And this is what I'm going to create right now. So I go to new project. Here I give it a name. I'm going to call it patient B. Here it is. So what I want to achieve, this project contains the medical data of patient B, and my goal is to get some insight for a better understanding. So I click on create project. So I'll end here. And the first thing I need to do is to go to instructions over here. And I will then provide some instruction to my project. So I prepare something. I'm telling the project that his role is to act as a multidisciplinary clinical decision support assistant. And he has to ground all his statements based either on the patient sources, source documents, or be any peer-reviewed evidence or established clinical guidelines. And I'm telling him that he needs to distinguish between the documented records versus what he's going to provide. Yeah, I'm asking him as well to flag any data gap or conflicting findings. And of course, important, I'm telling him not to replace a medical professional, but to create quality input to be discussed with him. All right, so I click on Save Instructions. And now the final step before we start asking him anything is we need to go here, Add Files. So we're going to create our RAG based on the medical records. And then you select all the documents where you have extracted the data into text. So you select them all and you open them. And they're going to come and get loaded, and they will all be in this section over here. So you need to wait a couple of seconds before this. Yeah, you see, so this you start seeing appearing. So what's happening right now is that it's transforming all your all the insight, all the document into mathematical formula, which we will now act on querying based on multiple or different prompts that we're going to create. So I created this one, so you place it here. So we will start interacting with the data over here with this chat box here. So I'm going to start asking him a very, very difficult questions. What I'm going to ask him is, I want him to analyze the provided sources, and I want him to generate a detailed and evidence-based report for a qualified medical doctor. And I want him to structure the report in first chapter, the clinical findings, then the differential diagnosis and the plausible root causes. And I'm asking him as well to recommend any kind of a new test that he believes could narrow down the diagnostic. And finally, in the chapter 3, I'm going to ask him to propose an integrated treatment plan based on what he found earlier. And here I will be asking him for pharmaceutical intervention, nutritional and supplements, and lifestyle, if any. And finally, and very important, I'm reminding him that he must be medically accurate and tailor the recommendation specifically to the provided case. Do not bring any kind of generic advice. We don't need that, and he needs to provide citations, and he must highlight any kind of risk of bias and limitation. All right, so a few words about the model. We're going to use Sonnet 4.6 extending meaning that we're going to allow him to spend time on thinking because it's a lot of difficult information that we're providing him, and also the output is a complex, very complex task to do. And today the best free version is the one called Sonnet 4.6. And if you pay, you can have access to the Opus 4.6, which is even better. But already with this one, it's great. One extra thing which I didn't prepare here, but now I'm thinking about it, I could also ask him to look for any kind of contraindications between the different drugs that he's going to provide. That could have been a nice additional step that I could have asked him. Maybe I will ask him a little bit later. Okay, so I will be clicking on the upload button over here, and he will start doing his thinking and creating the document. And as this is going to take a couple of minutes, it might take up to 10 or maybe 15 minutes or maybe more. I will probably come back to you once it will be done. All right, talk to you in a little bit. Okay, so it took a little while, but then I'm actually super surprised, because on top of providing me with the text here of the main findings, he created me a Word report, which I could go and take directly or send to my medical doctor. I didn't even ask for it. So that's very impressive, I would say. So he actually break down the report based on, indeed, the clinical findings in section 1, where he could find a couple of very interesting genetic variant that could be of attention, as well as some immunological issues with chronically suppressed markers. And then he proposed a differential diagnosis, and he might find 8 causes that indeed should be looked after. And he will propose it as well an treatment plan that, of course, will have to be discussed with a professional healthcare practitioner. But only having this kind of information is super important, because it actually provide me with a lot of insights and on the kind of professional that I need to identify and go to visit in order to get this discussed, and then maybe getting the right treatment for the condition that we are facing. All right, so thank you very much. That was actually the journey that I took to come to this to get this insight. So at the moment, it's only text, and I will be going through with you in another video where I can show you how we can transform this big long text into maybe more absorbable content. All right, thank you very much. Bye-bye.